in time, gonna make her mine, gonna make her mine. I'm the man, I got the plan. When it hits the fan, do all I can, do all I
can. School holidays. It's nice. So I've fixed the microphone again. This must be iteration, what, number 50,000. And I've actually gone back to a microphone that I was using previously. Sync back in. And it's actually a mono microphone. The main reason I was trying the previous microphone was because it was stereo, which when I'm editing on the desktop I can just copy the left channel to the right channel and then it's in stereo, but on the mobile you can't do that. So I was trying to use a stereo microphone, but that microphone was just horrible wind noise. It just kept crackling like crazy. So I've gone back to the mono microphone, but I've wired it in stereo, so let's see how that goes. Still should work editing on the mobile. But I want to talk about, as I filter past a bus, a few people have been commenting on some of the older posts, and I see it everywhere on Facebook and so on, where people talk about you're not allowed to filter past a bus or a truck. Now that is actually incorrect. And people will often say it's against the rules, and it's not against the rules. It's against RMS's guidelines. It's against what RMS recommends. But the light was very hard to see in this afternoon sunlight in the eyes. But where people get confused is when RMS put out their guidelines around filtering, they say that you're not allowed. In fact, they don't say you're not allowed to. In fact, they say, in fact, the documentation actually says you should not filter past trucks and buses. It doesn't say you must not. And in fact, the rules themselves mention nothing about trucks and buses, sorry. Concentrating slightly. What the rules say, I'll post a link to the actual rules, because the rules are defined by the legislation, not by RMS or the police or anything like that. What the rules actually say is when it is safe to do so, which is a pretty broad and very easily interpreted thing. So RMS have interpreted that as do not filter past trucks and buses, because people often get squashed filtering past trucks and buses. Now that's not to say it's actually dangerous. The threat is certainly worse, and it can be a lot more dangerous. The risk is certainly high, but it doesn't mean you can't do it. And in fact, there's certainly times where it's safer to do it. Really, what it comes down to is a judgment call. You as a rider need to make a judgment on whether it is safe to pass that truck or not. And particularly trucks, because you can get caught under their wheels very easily compared to buses. Same as anything around rules. All rules are the same thing. What is the rules there for in the first place? The rules are there for control. You have no control, you have no rules, you have chaos. You have rules, you reduce the chaos. And it's all about everyone getting along, basically, is what the rules are there for. It's not just one person doing whatever the hell they want. There's some rules that kind of say you can do this and you can't do that, just to try and keep everyone getting along. So I think sometimes people forget that. They forget that rules are not necessarily a guideline to how you should live your life. They're just giving you boundaries to work within. Take speeding for example. A few people even commented on, in some of the videos when I'm filtering, I'm like doing 31 or 32 kilometers an hour, and they say I'm speeding. And it's like, because it's not that easy. Sometimes you've got to sink back into the traffic, so it's easier to accelerate just a little bit and sink back in. So going a couple of k's over is is the more conformed thing to do, right? And it's the same with the speed that you choose to do in traffic. Like right now we happen to be doing the speed limit, right? But that's quite often not the case. You know, you're normally doing it quite a few k's over the speed limit, and that's because all the traffic is doing a few k's over the speed limit. And if I try to do the speed limit in that scenario, you just get harassed, right? You just get tailgated, you get people honking at you, you get people trying to make these crazy maneuvers to get around you just because you're obeying the speed limit, right? So in that scenario, it's better to live in the grey area because that's what everyone else is doing, and that makes it for an easier, you know, more conformed and socially acceptable thing to do, as opposed to following the rule black and white. Anyway, sorry, I was just totally rambling there. But point is, going back to my original conversation, the whole thing I started talking about was it's not filtering past a truck and a bus is not illegal. It's not what the legislation says. It says when it is safe to do so, which means that you as the rider own the responsibility of going, is it safe for me to continue filtering, or do I just pull back in again? Oh, we're at a gridlock, at an impasse. No one wanted to go anywhere. For all the years I've been going through roundabouts, it doesn't happen very often, surprisingly, where suddenly everyone's giving way to everyone. Anyway, so if anyone ever tells you that it is illegal to filter past a bus and a truck, then no, that is incorrect. It is not illegal. However, it is dangerous, so you've got to make a judgment call accordingly. There you go. That's my 2 cents on that one. Let me know your thoughts and all that sort of stuff. Otherwise, as always, stay safe, have fun, and I'll see you next time. See you guys. Let me know if the microphone sounds better as well. Again, I'm still editing on my mobile as much as I can because I can edit more frequently, but see how it sounds. Okay, see ya, bye.